Last time on Red, White, and Bluestreak Reviews. Red, White, and Bluestreak reviewed his first masterpiece scale Transformers figure on the channel, Magic Square's Light of Peace, and deemed it quite possibly the best MP scale Optimus on the market. Unsure of where to go for his next review, he decided to turn back to SH Figuarts to take a look at one of the Dragon Ball figures in his collection. With this figure being highly favored among fans as one of the best base form Gokus out there, does this figure live up to the hype? Or is this figure too overrated for its own good? Find out now on Red, White, and Bluestreak Reviews! Ba weeb grana weeb ninny bang YouTube, Red, White, and Bluestreak here, and as the title card suggests, today we're taking a look at another SH Figuarts figure, this time from my Dragon Ball Z collection of them. So for those who don't know who Goku is, how? No, like seriously, how? Like Optimus Prime I kinda get, right? Like Transformers was an international sensation in the 80s, then kind of fell off a little bit, and then ended up picking up right back up with the movies. So people might not really know the 80s interpretation of the character, or people just might not know Optimus Prime in general. So I kinda get that, right? But Dragon Ball Z has been like the center of attention, or at least a center of attention for a while. A lot of times, with Goku being at the center of a lot of the attention. I mean, it's a series spanning countless toys, movies, games, a few shows, and shoot, man, the guy's even in Fortnite. I mean, Hiffle, Dragon Ball Z Abridged introduced thousands, maybe millions to that anime alone. But you know what? If you don't know who the lovable extraterrestrial fighter is, well, besides being at the center of every power scale and comparison debate, Son Goku, aka Kakarot, is the main character of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super, which are all property of Toei Animation, Fuji TV, and Akira Toriyama. Please support the official release. What just happened? The anime, as you can guess, follows Goku as he continues to fight stronger and stronger foes, purely for the desire of a good fight, which just so happens to result in him saving the world, or multiple worlds sometimes. Except for the times when he's the reason for the world being in danger. This doozy of a figure to find is one of the many forms that Goku takes in this figure line, of which I own 3. Soon to be 4. And he's on the older side of the Goku spectrum, especially when considering the new one from Superhero. So, how does this hold up after all these years? Well, for starters, the packaging is pretty good. It's the same style as the new Dragon Ball SH Figuarts figures, which gives a nice manga panel aesthetic on the front. Though, as I've stated before, I definitely prefer the look of the Naruto packaging over this. But it's not about the packaging. It's about what the package holds. And the package holds something pretty cool. The figure looks great and feels great. It's hard to imagine Goku's hair as a 3D object, and seems to be something toys struggle with, and Toriyama definitely didn't make it easy. But Tamashii Nations did a fantastic job with that translation. Though in all honesty, I kinda wish that they would have done something similar to what Budokai or Budokai Tenkaichi did for Goku's hair, seeing as how they seem to definitely nail Goku's hair as a 3D object. Other than that, this figure is fantastically painted, from the boots, to the kanji on the gi, to the numerous faces this figure comes with. We'll get to the face that he comes with out of the box because I have some stuff that I want to say about it. Positive things. Besides that face, he also comes with a stern face, a gritted teeth face, and a face, which all look good, but not gonna lie, the faces that come with the superhero figure look a lot better in my opinion, at least when it comes to those types of faces. However, the main reason I chose to hunt down this figure instead of the superhero one, besides the inability to swap heads with most of the Gokus without looking weird, is because of this face. This has to be the most Goku face that's ever Goku'd on a Goku. Whatever that means. But really, this has to be the most in-character face I've seen for Goku. I mean, sure, Goku's usually firing off his Kamehamehas, or powering up, or being generally angry at the antagonist of the arc, but this Saiyan raised on Earth is a lovable, jovial, carefree goofball, and this face perfectly embodies it, especially when paired with his waving/chopping hand. Along with this additional hand, he also has an instant transmission hand, a pair of martial arts hands for some iconic pose recreation on a not-so-iconic dresser, and some Kamehameha hands to pair with his shouting face while you get him in the appropriate pose. I am on a roll with these segues today! There's a full range of motion at the head. You can look up a little bit and down a little bit. You can also tilt side to side a good amount. Arms can go outward but are limited by the shoulder piece, but can go all the way around. Butterfly joint, bicep swivel, double jointed bend at the elbow, wrist swivel, tilt at the wrist. There's an arch, and an ab crunch. Slightly limited waist swivel, actually very limited. The belt is actually articulated, funny enough. He can't do the splits, but he can kick forward really far, and back even farther. Slight rotation at the thigh, a nice double jointed bend at the knee, swivel at the ankle, the pivot, foot can tilt, and so can the toe. So unsurprisingly, just like with Sasuke, Tamashii Nations once again absolutely nails the articulation on this figure. There are very few poses that you can't get this guy into. And of course, you get this figure on a stand and you can get some pretty awesome flying poses. And it doesn't even stop there, since Tamashii Nations has continued to update this figure with different accessory packs over the years. There's the power pole accessory, the dining set that comes with a new face, and the soon-to-be-released effects parts pack, which I'll definitely do a mini review on. Make sure to keep an eye on those shorts, eh? Overall, yeah, this figure definitely holds up. This figure came out over 4 years ago and still stands tall among the other base form Gokus, and stands on equal footing with most of the other Goku figures that have been released by Tamashii Nations over the years. Honestly, between this and the superhero Goku figure, it kinda comes down to aesthetic preferences, as well as how much you value the smiling face. If you prefer something that's got more saturated coloring, not as deep a cut in the gi, and has a lovable Saiyan Earthling face, then go ahead and try to hunt down one of these guys. They'll usually run you about $50 on Amazon or eBay. But if you prefer the manga coloring with more exaggerated faces that might harken back to the days of the Saiyan Saga art direction, which look amazing by the way, then Superhero Goku is still in production and will run you about $35. 4.5 out of 5 is going to be my final rating for this guy. I find him largely perfect as far as Goku figures go, but I'm docking half a point because it sucks that you kind of have to pick sides when it comes to Superhero and this one in terms of faces, because Superhero Goku has some amazing faces, but this smile is absent. But for a figure from 2018, this is pretty much perfect by the standards of SH Figuarts figures back then, and I definitely recommend him if you want him or are able to get him. I mean, this release, along with how Tamashii Nations continues to support it over the years with all its additional accessory packs, it makes this figure special, unique. I guess you could say he's pretty much Sparky! What to do for next review? I don't know, is Street Fighter 6 still trending?